No 40-hour work week, no 9-to-5 work day. What you do, whenever you do it, can help you. Most diverse generation, most educated generation, they would rather have meaningful work and freedom and flexibility over more money. Okay. And even though the economy has hurt them so bad, with a double unemployment rate versus the national unemployment rate, they're the most optimistic generation. We view work differently. We have a different mindset when it comes to work, how it should get done, where it should get done.
Your great book, Promote Yourself, The New Rules for Career Success. Tell me about it a little bit.
It's all about pushing yourself forward, being accountable for your career and taking charge of your life, not waiting for opportunities to come to you, but chasing after them, because that's the only way you can get ahead. Millennials want the transparency. They want people to be honest and open. They're diverse, they want to work in diverse teams. They want to collaborate. They want a company to stand for more than just profit. They want them to make a societal difference. By understanding millennials and how they operate and what they want from work and mentoring them, because that's one of the things they really want, they're going to be more engaged, they're going to want to work with you longer, and you're going to be able to retain them and grow them into the next leaders in your corporation. The companies need to show people, especially millennials, that what they do makes an impact. Your project, this is what it does to the end consumer, or this is what it does to the world. This is how we're making an impact. So important to give people that type of mission. Managers feel that millennials are narcissistic, lazy, and entitled, whereas millennials feel that their managers are wise and willing to mentor. So there's a huge disconnect in how they perceive each other, and I think a lot of it has to be because of the media. It just doesn't matter as long as you get that job done. That is the most important thing. Recruiters now are looking for people who have the outcomes, who can actually show results for what they do, and that's what they really care about. The future is really Gen Y. Yesterday I sat in the presentations about culture. I thought they were excellent, and some of the big takeaways was culture equals brand. Sometimes I say talent equals brand. So if you have a really good culture, if everyone's on board in your company, you're going to attract the right people and repel the wrong people, which is good for your business, and it's going to also help attract the right investors. An entrepreneur is someone who takes on the risk of starting a company, possibly using someone else's resources or their own. Now, we're talking about an individual who can make things happen in a company above and beyond what they're required to do. And those are the people that stand out. Those are the people that get ahead. And the other statistic we found last year, which I thought was fascinating, was a third of college recruiters are looking for entrepreneurial skills for entry-level positions. And when I went to ask some key executives at major companies, who would you rather hire? Somebody who had 5 internships, or someone who had a business, one, and it succeeded or failed? They chose the entrepreneur. Who are the millennials? Well, if you listen to Time Magazine or many other publications, people think they're entitled, and the me, me, me generation is so narcissistic. And the reality is, I don't believe so. Managers had a very negative impression for millennials, but millennials have a positive perception of managers. So there's a huge disconnect in how people are perceived. And to me, things need to be fixed. Things need to be fixed now, because as more millennials enter the workforce, and by next year, there'll be 36% of the US workforce. And this number just keeps increasing, 1 million new each year. Now this is despite all the setbacks. This is the optimistic generation despite 16% unemployment rate for the generation, which is more than twice the national average of 7.3. And that doesn't figure in underemployment and those who have stopped looking for jobs. So you're looking at almost 50% once you add up all of that. So most optimistic generation despite all that, most diverse, largest at 80 million. And they're set to really take over the workforce in a big way. 45% of companies are experiencing high turnover for millennials, and if you compare to the previous research we've done, millennials leave in 2 years, whereas boomers leave in 10 years. So it's completely different the way they look at it, and what we found was millennials are looking for a strong corporate culture. Biggest problem that I hear again and again is retention. By understanding what millennials want and how they want to be managed, you can better cater to them, they'll stay with you longer. And here's the most important thing, is the number one reason why they leave is lack of career opportunities. If you can't show them a path up, if you're not going to mentor and support them, they're out. So can businesses really afford that as 1 million new millennials enter the workplace each year, as 30% of the American workplace is millennials next year, and as you said in the beginning, 75% by 2025, can they afford to do it? No, they can't.
What is the future of work going to look like when millennials are in charge?